Hello everyone, my name is Faris Ibrahim. I'm doing the first HeadStarter project, which is a Flask full stack app. The app itself is a football stats retriever, so a user can essentially sign up and start retrieving football stats about their favorite team. How this is done, essentially, this is a Flask app. This is the football stats API that I'm using. So this is obviously going to be deactivated after this demo. But this is the API that I'm using to fetch soccer stats or football stats. And then this is the website that contains the documentation, football data slash football slash data.org. So like I said, this is a Flask app connected with a plugin from Fetch AI API. So I'm using the LLM provider from Fetch AI API, which by default uses the ASI1 mini model. Now, in order to use that, I also need an API. So again, this API won't be available after this demo, but for the sake of showcasing this, it's important to explain how each how each API is integrated. So this is the URL for the API itself, and these are the HTML documents for the front end that I'm using. So this will obviously be more obvious in the demo, and this is the LLM code. This was actually provided by Fetch AI documentation, which is also in this URL link. So in order to showcase this demo, I'm gonna run my app. So Python app.py, and then I'm gonna start this localhost. So this is the landing page. So a user who just got into this app is gonna see this page whether they signed up or not. Now, because this is my first time, so I can sign up. I can say my name is Bob, for example. My password is also Bob. I can create an account, and then I can log in into my account. And by the way, in order to know this, the users are being saved to the default SQLite database provided by Flask in order to facilitate migrations. So I can log in, and as you can see, this is my dashboard. I just created my account, so I don't really have any teams in order to get any stats for. I don't have any recent matches. I don't have any upcoming fixtures. I do have access though to the LLM, which is the chatbot. So this is essentially, it's more of a general stats retriever, mainly because the LLM had its last training update in September 2024, so it cannot fetch new information or predict information. These are also quick links provided by the football API, the API that I showed. So if we go back to add.py, this API key, open source API key from footballdata.org is used to provide these quick links to Premier League top scorers, La Liga top scorers, Bundesliga top scorers, and so on. So if I just want some quick information, I can go to the Premier League top scorers and I can see the top 10 scorers for the Premier League. I can see their goals, their assists, their penalties. Most importantly, I can see what team they play for because, like I said, the main objective of this app is to keep up with your favorite team. So it renders the first 10 players from the API uh, and their different stats in each column. So back to my dashboard, I can go to another league, for example. I can go to La Liga, which is the Spanish league, and then I can see different players, their goals, their assists, their penalties, and so on. So again, I can choose another league, maybe Serie A, which is the Italian league, and I can see different players with different teams. Goals, assists, and penalties are always they're always the same name. Now I can come to the main port, which is keeping up with my favorite team. So I can add a team. So in this case, let's say that I support Manchester City, which plays in England. I can enter Manchester City in this team name, and then the team country, which is England, and then I can enter the football API team ID. Now, the key thing to know this is, obviously there will be times where I will misspell the team name or maybe I misspell the team country. What's cool about this football open source API is that it uses a team ID. So even if both of these fields are just complete, you know, nothing, just leave them blank. Leaving them blank. Uh, and then I can enter the team ID. Then I can enter the competition ID for the favorite team that I want. So I can say Manchester City plays in the Premier League, which is in England. So the Premier League has an ID of PL, and Manchester City itself has a team ID of 65. So if I leave these two fields blank, the team name and the team country, uh, I can add a team. I will get the recent matches for that team, but I'm not gonna be able to see it in my main div, which is which is using the SQLite database in order to render out the teams that I added. So I can add a team this time in order to see it on my dashboard. So Manchester City, and then England, England. For the API, I can pass in the same information that I passed the first time, and then I can add that team. And now this time I can see my team on the dashboard. This time I can see Manchester City, and I can still the same recent matches. So 22nd of April, that was like 2 days ago. So Manchester City played Aston Villa 2 days ago. Their upcoming matches, they have a game on the 25th, which is tomorrow. So that these are the upcoming fixtures, and these are the recent matches, the previously done matches. And now I can use the chatbot for other tools or other info that is not provided by the API. So, like I said, the API itself, this is linked in the API documentation and the URL that I showcased, but the API does not contain every single piece of information about the team, so it is limited by the number of information you can get. But at the same time, let's say you want to figure out some additional information, like when was Manchester City founded? This type of information is not provided by the API, so I can pass that to the LLM and I can ask it, and then it's going to render out information. Manchester City was founded in 1880. So this response is from the LLM itself. It's not from any API. The LLM itself was trained on a large corpus text, like large batches of data that are likely web scraped. So this response is from the LLM itself. And the last time I checked from the documentation, the LLM was lastly trained in September 2024, which is the reason why you cannot mainly use it to predict or generate new information. However, you can use it to retrieve old information or old stats in this case. So back to the dashboard, same thing. I see my team. I can log out, and then it's gonna bring me back to the landing page. And this is the essentially our website, my website. Thank you.